my ex-wife, Bobby, is going through her own who am I, who cares, a couple of other people who I owe something to, and who owe me something, and who cares both ways.
What really matters now feel it. Stop saying, I pinched myself hard. It hurts. Now you're talking. Stop it. Get under your skin. Who pinched me, I asked. I pinch you, I answered. Stop it. You're talking to yourself again. I and thousands of my brothers and sisters, mutilated and bleeding. Who cares? We all do. And yet keep doing it. Who am I? Who I am.
Tonight, Friday, November 21st, 2014, starting at 1 a.m. Saturday, November 22nd, time flies. 2014, I am writing this note to you and to myself. Quiet, cold, and windy out there. In my flat in Arlington, Mass. on the second floor. This old two-family wooden house, circa 1922, a couple of years before I was born, with uninsulated walls. I want to know, so I am putting down here a timeline of my life. Here goes. Come with me, and add your own feeling and thinkings to it.
Number 1, 1929. Douglas Augusta is now called President. It used to be called Armistice. Ending World War I. The war to end all wars. Stop it.
Number 2, 1933. The Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected President of the United States of America. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I was 4 years old playing the streets of 174th Street and Weeks Ave in the East Bronx. West Bronx was better than East Bronx because it was. East Bronx was low-income working class, half out of work like my father Jimmy. My neighborhood was okay, mainly secular Jews. Hitler was just getting started in Germany, not so safe.
Number 3, 1934 to 1939. I played on the safe streets, went to the safe PS-70 public school. I grew up unaware of what was happening over there. Hitler Germany was burning books, cursing Jews. Who cared? I was safe on the streets, not so safe at home. I had an older brother and a mother who couldn't stop him. Where was my father, who was a wounded soul?
Number 4, 1939 to 1945. World War II. The world was in flames. I was in Harvard Taft High School in the Bronx. Safe, but following in the newspapers and war to Russia on the radio, who was bombing and splattering the streets.
Number 5. Not until the ending of World War II did I know about the death camps. 6 million of my brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, and countless strangers who were told to take showers and gassed to death and thrown into ovens. To this day, when I go to my health club, Boston Sports Club, 475 Bedford Street, Lexington, Mass., and go to the steam room and the showers start to hiss and water comes out instead of gas, I can relax. Who am I?
Number 6, 1946. I graduated high school at 16 with a C average, but happy-go-lucky in art room, which I stayed in all day in my senior year. No girlfriends, but from 14 years on searched for a partner.
Number 7, 1946, 47. Got a scholarship to the Art Students League on West 57th Street, New York City. A great place to be. You study with whoever you wish to. No grades, no degrees, just art. And tons of ex-GIs, men and women who had been all over the world under the GI Bill of Rights. They, ex-GIs, were going to the Art Students Wing. One of my best friends was Lou from New Jersey, who had fought in Europe and spent the last year in the army in Paris, having his own studio and reading Picasso, Matisse, and others, all paid for by the U.S. Army. The government was not wanting to bring the 13 million service people home too soon.
Number 8, 1946 to 1947. It was in September 1946. I was 16 and a half years old, living at home, now living in New Rochelle, New York. My father had, during the war years, made the only real money in his life and bought a one-family house in the suburbs where it was safe, but I wasn't.
Number 9, October 1946. I moved out. I was still 16 and a half and moved to the Lower East Side of New York City. And believe it or not, paid minimal rent, $9 a month. It was a small 4th floor cold water flat in an old law tenement building. Cold water, no central heating, no anything, except freedom. I had a space of my own. I had a workaday roommate who was a comic book artist for Action Comics named Lo Zansky, who paid half the rent, $4.50 a month, and every day got me lunch instead of Campbell's tomato soups, which was my boring, cheap staple. So I only paid $4.50 rent. I at first had no income, broke.
Number 10, 1947 and 1957. Living in 541 East 12th Street, Lower East Side, in a cold water flat. I fell in love with the Lower East Side, which was very low income, very working class, mostly Jews. It was where immigrants from East York first settled in, and so I, being a young art student, being Jewish and broke, where could I find part-time work and keep painting in the settlement houses, which were the community centers of the neighborhoods in the Lower East Side. There were, from 1920 on, the only place with kids where the kids from the neighborhoods could go after school and play safe. It was sometimes their own flat and the streets were not so safe. I was a group leader from the age of 18 to 26. I led groups in art, crafts, games, gym. I also worked for many years in the settlement house camps, working my way up from bunk counselor to director of one particular camp.
Number 11, 1947, after my one-year scholarship in the Art Students League in West 57th Street, Manhattan, New York, I decided to exit New York City and explore the rest of the USA. One morning in early June, I walked across the George Washington Bridge, and having a backpack and a blanket roll on my back, I hitched and I rode the freights across east to west USA. It took me 5 months. Because I worked hard working my way across, railroad section gang in Minnesota, meatpacking plant in Fargo, North Dakota, ranch hand in Wyoming, copper mine and copper smelter in Butte and Anaconda, mountain fruit picking in Yakima, Washington, I learned a lot and drew a lot. I found out it was all hard work and hard-working people working together. That made the USA so great. I had difficulty doing it, but I was never fired. I would quit so I could move on once I had a role.
Number 12, 1947. In the fall of November, I had come back from my crossing of the USA and my growing up trip, then heading off again. This time on my 18th birthday, via Greyhound bus, crossed over into Mexico from Laredo, Texas. I landed in Mexico City, stayed a month there, looked all over all of Diego Rivera's murals. Then at 5 a.m. I hopped a train with canvas, paint, supplies, easel, etc., and told the conductor I wanted to get off at Robles, a small village 50 miles from Mexico City. I knew very little Spanish, I told this conductor. Robles, he repeated. Rubles. So I told this conductor Rubles. He repeated Robles, correcting me, and took my fare. And after several hours, train going very slow, packed with working people and small goats, one of the passengers said to me, Robles, and pointed to the train door. I went to the door, looked out for the train station. No train station. The passenger who first yelled out to me yelled in English, jump. Several other passengers got up and encouraged me, pushed me off the moving train, and also all my gear. I was really shook up, but okay. To be continued.
Stan's hysterical history as a list after Mexico was focused on the events in my life and impacted on me and others. 1947, Black Mountain College, Asheville, North Carolina.
1949. 1953, joined the Graphic Workshop, New York City.
1950 to 51, Brooklyn Museum Art School.
1951 to 57, Brooklyn College, Art major.
1952 to 56, Brooklyn College, Folk Dance Club, President Square Dance Calling.
1955, married to Bobby. We met in the Brooklyn College Folk Dance Club.
1957, camp director. Mid-season, camp burns down. Bobby and I take 33 months. Nova Scotia Canada and left of New York State.
1958, Bobby graduates Brooklyn College. Gets job at Jackson Lab on Mount Desert Island, Bar Harbor, Maine. We lived in small wooden house, wood stove, wood furnace for 1 year.
1959, Bobby gets scholarship to get MA degree in biology at Radcliffe College. We moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts. I get job teaching painting, drawing, and graphics at Cambridge Center. Still teaching there in 2014, but now teaching acting.
1960, get interested in theater and acting. Form theater group called Social Action Group. Focus on and creation of civilized drama.
1962, Bobby goes back to school at BU to get MA in theater, acting, directing. We form another theater group called Forum Theater and focus on nuclear dangers.
1965 to 1979. With the backing of the American Friends Services Committee Quakers, we form another more permanent theater group called Caravan Theater, which lasted till 1979, existing for 14 years. Focus on the social issues of the 60s and 70s. In 1971, Caravan went to World Theater Festival in Poland. Performed a play we created, How to Make a Woman, focused on women's issues.
1979, I had a serious car accident. Bobby and I separated. Caravan Theater closed its doors.
1960, our first daughter was born, Naomi.
1962, our second daughter was born, Rebecca. We were living in Cambridge.
1971, we moved into a house in Lexington, Massachusetts. Naomi and Rebecca went to Lexington schools. So went to and graduated from Lexington High School. Rebecca, several years ago, moved to central Massachusetts to a beautiful house in the woods. Rebecca wrote a book that got published called That Takes Ovaries. Naomi, after several other locations, now lives in Maryland with her husband Marty and their son Matthew, who is now 7 years old and is my grandson. Naomi works in Washington, D.C. on climate change, and Marty works in Washington, D.C. as an architect.
1979, Rebecca and I went to Mexico and Cuba.
1981, Naomi and I went to Ireland.
1969, Bobby, I, Naomi, Rebecca, and 2 girls.
1981 to 2010.
We skipped one.
Nope. 1979 to 1981, I went back to school to get an MA in clinical psychology.
1981 to 2010, I was a practicing psychotherapist. 10 years working in nursing homes. 10 years working with large variety of emotionally troubled individuals.
1990, I had my first heart attack. I've had 2 more heart attacks and 1 stroke. At 2010, and now have
2000
and now have early stages of Parkinson's disease.
$1990, I went to Israel and subsequently taught there for Lesley College.
1990 to 2002, I was an adjustment professor at Lesley. I was an adjunct professor at Lesley College, off campus, throughout the U.S. and Israel.
2003, a special trip to Palestine and Israel as a people-to-people peace mission.
2009, I moved out of Lexington after 33 years there and moved to Arlington, where I am presently living.
1961 plus. I directed many plays, probably over 55.
1970, at CCAE, I started teaching acting and stopped teaching visual arts.
1964 plus. I have also briefly taught at several other places, including Alfred Street High School in Watertown, while still teaching at the Cambridge Center.
1960 plus. I have had several art exhibitions, and I'm having a one-person show in Lowell, Massachusetts at the Zeitgeist Gallery in May 2015.
From 1929, when I was born, to now, 2014, I have been a learner, listener, artist, activist, teacher. I'll continue that. From 2014, I have been a learner, listener, artist, activist, teacher, making myself and many other selves to make all our lives better, safe and creative. And that's the end. before we go on, of course, that was part of it, so I'd like to congratulate my buddies over here, Vic and Rachel, for stepping in at the last minute to do this with me. So I just appreciate it. A few comments on what you heard, and then go on to the rest of the presentation. Anyone have a comment on what has been with this one? So, anyone want to say anything? Comment?
Word. I have one word, Stan.
Yes.
Wow.
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 Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, no. Okay. I'm going to move on.
Inspiring. Inspiring.
Inspiring. For now.
This one.
That's my kind of book. I don't like to read anymore, but this is a book that I'd like to read. You know, this is a summary of 85 years and in a few minutes. So I really like, I feel I'm reading a book, and I do truly appreciate it.
Thank you all for being here and for listening to this timeline. There's one more thing that I want to show before we go on with the last presentation. And Tom is going to help me get started. This is a series of artwork that I did. We have to do we have to do all see and add the one that was in the acting, directing, and teaching about.
But you ride me, get harder. Loving you was like a veil, and we both know with scars. Tell me who I have to be. Just gangster reciprocity, yeah. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we go, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. No, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you want yourself to make me say, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't get back in. No. How can I explain myself as painful as this thing has been? I just can't be with no one else. See, I know what you got to do. You let go, and I let go too. 'Cause no one's hurt me more than you, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we go, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. No, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you put yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. No, this is crazy. No, care for me. I know you care for me, there for me, there for me. Said you'll be there for me, cry for me. Said you would die for me, give to me. Will you, when I need you?
And Stan, a kind of genius of creating an authentic learning community, one of my favorite things. And in that community, he teaches and explores art really as an exploration of what it is to be human. And he does that by bringing out a facilitating with genius in everybody in the class an experience of creative collaboration. One of my favorite things. So it's just been a great pleasure and inspiration. So now, kind of as a thank you, we're going to do, Aki and I are going to do a scene we worked on in last summer's acting class. Very famous scene, the comic relief gravedigger scene from Hamlet. And you can try and figure out who's Hamlet and who's the gravedigger.
A pickaxe and a spade, for a shrouding sheet, and a bit of clay is meet, for such a guest is meet.
I'll speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this?
Mine, sir. A pit of clay is to be meet.
It's thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Thou stand outless, therefore it is not yours.
Thou liest in it to be in it and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Tis a quick lie, sir. We'll move again from me to you.
What man is to be buried here?
No man, sir.
What woman, then?
No woman neither.
Who is to be buried here?
One who was a woman, but bless her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, Horatio, or equivocation will undo us. These past years I've taken note of it. The air has grown so thick that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier, he galls his cod. How long have thou been a grave maker?
All the days of the year. Since that day, old King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Can you not tell that? Any fool can tell that. It was the day young Hamlet, he that went mad, was sent to England.
Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad. A will regain his wits there, or if he do not, it is no great matter.
Why?
Because there, in England, everyone is mad.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Why, in with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Here, in Denmark. I have been sexton, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he not be rotten before he die, and these days we have many a pocky corpse that can scarcely hold the leg in, he will last 8 year, 9 year. A tanner, sir, will last 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, because his hide is so tanned by his trade, it will keep the water out a long while. And water, sir, is a sore decayer of your whoreson dead body. Take this skull. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoreson mad fellow. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
This skull belonged to Sir York, the king's jester.
This.
In that.
Let me see. Alas, poor York. I knew him, Horatio. A man of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips I had kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your gibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not now to mock your own grinning. Quite chapfallen? Now get thee to my lady's chambers and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. See.
These are the forgeries of jealousy. Never since the summer's middle spring have we, on hill and dale, forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushing brook, or in the beached margin of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the moon, therefore the wind, piping to us in vain, as in revenge, has sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land, hath every pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox has therefore stretched his yoke in vain. The plowman's lost his sweat, and the green corn hath rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The folk stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted with the Nurian flock. The nine men's moss is filled with mud. The human mortals want their winter cheer. Now, no night is with him our carol blessed. Therefore, the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic diseases do abound. In thorough this distemperature we see, the seasons alter, the hoary-headed frosts fall in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and on old Hyam's thin and icy crown, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds, is as a mockery set. The spring, the summer, the chilling autumn and angry winter have changed their liveries in the wanton green, in the mazed world by their increase. Now knows not which is which, and this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Lies a mountain of white, a heaven of diamonds shine down through the night. Two hearts are thrilling in spite of the chill in the weather. Love knows no season, love knows no clime. Romance can blossom any old time. Here in the open, we're walking and hoping together. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man, but you can do the job when you're in town." Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man, but you can do the job when you're in town." Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Oh, you don't want to hear the, this is specifically for you. As you were showing, or going through the timeline, the word that I had was courage. This particular song, I'm singing for you. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind. If you're young at heart, you can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life gets more exciting with each passing day, and love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
Say something before I forget about it. We're probably going over 10:30. I don't know what time it is. What time is it now, by the way?
4:10.
4:10. But we have a few more people to show us what they're doing. Again,
But you're troubled, aren't you? It's because you keep reminding me. If you go away, then I'll forget. And you're unhappy. Everybody's unhappy. You're unhappy, aren't you? Agnes, aren't you? Sometimes. Yes. You think you're lucky because you didn't have a mother who said things to you and did things that maybe weren't always nice. That's what you think because you don't know that my mother was a wonderful person. And even if you did know that, you wouldn't believe it because you think she was bad, don't you? Agnes, answer me. You never answered me. Yes. Yes, I do think your mother was wrong sometimes. That was because of me, because I was bad, not her. What did you do? I'm always bad. What do you do? No. What did you do? I breathe. What did your mother do to you? If you can't tell me, just shake your head, yes or no. Okay. Did she make you do something that you didn't want to do? Did it embarrass you? Did it hurt you? What did she make you do? No. You can tell me. I can't. She's dead, isn't she? Yes. She can't hurt you anymore. She can. Agnes, tell me. I will protect you from her. She makes me, yes, take off my coat and then, yes. Tells you that you're ugly? Yes. And that you're stupid? Yes. And you're a mistake? She says my whole body is a mistake. Why? Because she says if I don't watch out, I'll have a baby. How does she know that? Her headaches. Oh, yes. And then she touches me. Where? Down there. With her cigarette. Please, Mommy, don't touch me like that. I'll be good. I won't be your bad baby anymore. Agnes, I want you to do something. I want you to pretend that I'm your mother. I know your mother's dead, and you're grown up now. But just for a moment, I want you to pretend that she's back, and that I'm your mother. Only this time, just tell me what you're feeling. All right? Please. I want to help you. Let me help you. All right. Agnes, you're ugly. What do you say to that? I don't know. Yes, you do. Of course you do. Agnes, you're ugly. What do you say? No. Are you pretty? Yes. Agnes, you're stupid. What do you say? No, I'm not. Oh, are you intelligent? Yes. I am. Agnes, you're a mistake. I'm not a mistake. I'm here, aren't I? How can I be a mistake if I'm really here? God doesn't make mistakes. You're a mistake. I want to ask you a favor. If you don't like what I'm asking, just say no. Alright? Well, I'd like permission to hypnotize you. Why? Because you can tell me things under hypnosis that you wouldn't be able to tell me otherwise.
Does Mother Miriam know about this?
Mother Miriam loves you very much, just like I love you. And I'm sure she wouldn't object to anything that would be a help to you.
Do you really love me, or do you just say it?
Of course I love you.
As much as Mother Miriam loves me?
As much as God loves you.
All right.
Thank you.
Walk and sit, making that comment. I'm going to ask Tom to get ready to do the guitar.
Okay. So, thank you for having us, Dan. Yet another Kinks song. Probably none of you know it, but it's a nice one. From the dew-soaked hedge creeps a curly caterpillar. When the dawn begins to crack, it's all part of my autumn almanac. Breeze blows leaves of a musty-colored yellow, so I sweep them in my sack. It's all part of my autumn almanac. Friday evening, people get together, hiding from the weather. Tea and toasted button currant buns won't compensate for lack of sun. 'Cause summer's all gone. La, 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 la. Oh, my autumn almanac. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. La, 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 la. Oh, my poor romantic back. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. I like football on a Saturday, roast beef on Sunday. Alright, I go to Blackpool for my holiday, sit in the open sunlight. This is my street, and I'm always gonna stay here. And I'm always gonna stay here. If I live to be 99, it's all the people I meet seem to come from my street, and I can't get away. Oh no, 'cause it's calling me. Come on home. It's calling me. Come on home. La 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 la. Oh, my autumn almanac. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. La 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 la. Pretty much a Kinks. I'll play this one. This is a song by the Mekons, which is one of my favorite bands. I'm not hungry, I'm not weary, I'm not weary, God is alone. Every question
know, sometimes when I've encountered that intention in you, I thought, well, that's kind of from a long time ago, and it's kind of grandiose. But I thought about it, and I realized that you have changed the world. You've changed the world amazingly, and I think in a lot of ways through your art. But the way that I know that you have for sure is through your teaching, and through the way you've opened up possibilities, and you've kind of shone a light into the souls of many, many people, including yourself. So I want to thank you.
Very nice. Let's just keep on going around.
My name is Nancy, and I've never met any of you until tonight, and I'm delighted that I was able to come, Stan, and wish you a happy birthday. I'm just very grateful to hear your story. It's inspiring, fascinating, and the journey that you've been on is quite remarkable. I'm happy to have shared it tonight. Thank you.
My name is Tanya. I know Stan for 11 months. So I believe, I thought I know a little bit. Today I learned the story, the life, the courage, the strength. I admire you, Stan. I just admire you. I just admire. Everything that you were able to achieve, I listened to your life, all the little pieces, trying to put everything together. I don't know how you were able to do it, but it's done, you are here, and I just want to say thank you.
So I so much enjoyed your classes, and then when you took me to the International Film Festival with you, that was really special. And for those of you who do not know, indirectly, because he introduced me to Patrick Jerome, I wound up acting in a film that Patrick wrote and directed. So I tell you, you brought me a long way, my friend, and I thank you.
So, I don't know when I started taking classes with Stan. I think it was a few years ago. The Anyone Can Act class. And I think it was the 3rd or 4th class. Like, I was mildly horrified. Because Stan takes a script like somebody has written, and he just tears it, like he perverts it almost. Like he finds, I mean, all kinds of interpretations I'm pretty sure the writer did not find. And I just had this image of him as a wolf, just like tearing apart a hopeless, like a little piece of paper, defenseless, and tearing it into pieces and just creating things I didn't think were possible. But as I've done more acting classes with Stan, I realized he's not just being sadistic. He actually can look at life in many different ways, and I think it's from all the experiences that you've had. You can look at people and feel things, I mean, put yourself in other people's positions. And I mean, that must be a large part of what you do in this class. I'm a physicist and I'm supposed to be deconstructing the world, but I've realized I have a long ways to go. Thank you, Stan.
My name's Shakti, and I'm taking class with you now, Stan. I've only known you for 9 weeks, and I'm loving the class, and I actually was quite intrigued by you as a person and as a teacher, because the way you conduct the class and the way you tell us that there's more in each person, like, you know, look at the emotions that are in you. And I was actually interested in knowing more about you, and I'm really glad I was able to come here today, and that you gave us a short, brief history of your whole life, and I found it very inspiring and very interesting, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm Chris, and I've had several classes with Jan over a few years now. And I really want to say thanks, because you've taken me to emotional places that I you've shown me how to really express things that I wasn't able to before. You really helped to open up my life to new experiences and to really embrace what's totally different and go right straight into it. So thanks.
My name is James. I was in one of Stan's classes in the summer of 2012, and it was just like really an amazing class. And so I ended up taking like 3 of his classes the next quarter, and like 2 the one after that. And I think one thing that I was just reminded of by doing the warm up was just the idea of following impulses. I feel like that was a big thing for me. That really just, I don't know, it's a great place to learn how to do it in a way that I don't even like think about and haven't really thought about since I stopped taking classes. And one other thing was just that, Stan, I left and I didn't say goodbye, and I was having a tough time, and I just want to say sorry for that. So goodbye, but hello. And thanks for teaching, and I'm happy to see you.
My name is Matthew. Both figuratively and literally late for the party, but I'm glad to be here. That's fine for you. I haven't taken any of your classes. I met you before. In fact, by the context of the conversation, you're obviously teaching theater, and that's a great art. I'm a musician myself. Perhaps if there's still time, I can play a little something for you. Anyway, glad to be here, everybody. Pleased to meet you all. Happy birthday, Sam.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren McGrath, and this is Honey Boy McGrath. It's a little gratitude. Thank you so much for inviting us. We're here because of our friend Victor. And we're sorry we're no very late.
Well, when Stan started this and was saying what he wanted us to do, I couldn't hear a word of it, because I'm deaf and we're hearing it. So I'm glad everybody said a lot of good things, so I got an idea. I've known Stan for several years now, quite a few years, and it's been a great, great pleasure and honor. And this man is just so sweet. There's not a bad bone in his body. And I'm just so happy I know you, man. And happy birthday.
Just strikes back to the bone on this one.
Hi, Stan. Happy birthday. Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to try not to cry. I don't think it's going to work. Thank you very much for everything.
One picture because my battery has been dying. Can I get a picture with us?
Sure.
Good. Oh, thank you.
I have a charger if you want it.
Oh, good. That would be great. Oh, smart. Okay.
So my name is Marie, and I've been
taking the class for like 8 weeks with Shakti, and really liked the class, even if it was a big step for me because I was like, no, English is not my native language, so I cannot take an acting class here. But so Stan told me it's not a problem, so I took the class. I really enjoy it, and I was quite impressed to hear your story. It kind of also reminded me my history classes at school sometimes. And yeah, I was quite impressed and interested by the fact that you traveled like 5 months in the United States. I thought it was quite courageous. So yeah, thank you and happy birthday.
I'm Rachel. I first took Anyone Can Act in 2009. I didn't really have ambitions of being an actress or taking an acting class, but I was just flipping through the CCA catalog and thought that one looked kind of fun, so I signed up, and I'm really glad I did. Stan was really great and inspiring for all of us, and really brought us together. I'm still friends with quite a few people from that class, and through Stan, I've worked on several other acting and artistic projects, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful that...
I do not know where my keys are. And it looks like this. I don't know whose this set is. It was over there, I think. So I have these, but I don't have mine. So if everyone keep their eyes open. Because I'm supposed to give this birthday boy a ride home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you think might have happened on the way into the building?
I went outside.
Well, as we came up and looked very carefully.
Somebody could have picked him up. Who knows?
We had to find him.
Well, you've got a ride, right?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where's my backup? Oh, yes?
I said I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it.
I don't know what I'll do. I might spend the night here.
Did you say they were outside?
I don't know where they are.
Because I have a flashlight.
I do too.
Oh, okay.
Where do you
No, Rose.
No, anyone
No,
going?
no, no, no. I've got to find my keys. It's the
Yeah.
only set.
It should be
Anyway,
here.
I took, I think three or four classes of Stan's, and prior to that I'd had one, and Stan was totally different from the first teacher, of course, and well, not of course, it was. And it was an experience that I greatly enjoyed, and I learned a lot. So thank you, and happy birthday. You're quite a man.
I think there was another group in there earlier.
Okay. Maybe they
Wouldn't
have
be able to
mine.
get into the vehicle. Use it.
Okay.
I'm Tom, and I've known Stan since March of 2007. And fantastic for introductory, getting first into, and since then I've done some plays with friends that I've met through Stan at the classes, and I've been doing plays pretty much since, and I've enjoyed it. It's been, it was part of the whole journey, and it started when I took my first class with Stan. And we did King Lear together.
Oh, that's right.
And that was a journey within a journey. And strangely enough, about a year and a half ago, Joe was the stage manager for a play I did at Lexington Players. Is that who they are? Yeah. Yeah, we did, where was it? The Cutting School?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun.
He was
The
fantastic.
play was The Late Henry Moss, and that play is by Sam Shepard. And it's very intense. And funny, but very intense. brutal stuff, but it was great. And I got to play Henry Moss, and I got to, you know, put hair white in my hair, and I had a big beard like the last time I was here. And boy, did I! The director said, "Hey, I want you to look like an old fuck." I was like, "Yeah!" And it worked out, obviously. So since then, yeah, and we worked on a film, and Stan, still in the can. Right? Still in the can. Let's call him. Yeah, it's been great. So I've met a lot of friends through Stan, and Stan's still kicking. Yeah, you look the same.
Well, good. Thank you very much.
I've known Stan, I think, about 45 years. It's about 45 years. But
where and when?
in Caravan Theater, you were directing many plays, one of which was How to Make a Woman, right? Along with Bobby, Stan's wife at the time, and Stan was really in his element as a director. I mean, he worked well with other people. You're going to hear more about this later, but and then there came a time where I think it was after your accident, you were in our patio, and this must have been like at least maybe 15 years later, 20 years later, and Stan, after the accident, received some money and used it to buy a building, or I don't know what it was, a townhouse in Central Square. And so he was a landlord. And this was so unlike Stan to be a landlord. He was always a renter. He didn't even own his own home, he was just a renter. And so suddenly he was a landlord. He had tenants. And he came over to our house, and it was a hot summer night, and he was saying, I can't stand it. I can't stand being a landlord. I can't be mean to people. I can't throw them out when they don't pay the rent. I can't do it. I'm going to have to sell the building. I can't bear it. And he said, and I feel so bad because for a while there, you had gotten a degree in psychology, was it? And I went through the same thing with psychology, right? You worked in a hospital and you worked with patients, and he said, and I didn't like that either. And it's so nice to be here, to stop in, and to see that Stan is in his element, doing what he does best, which is working with people, and directing as well, so encouraging. Now, I actually was in his class once, and I was in one of your classes, actually, and I have to say, I couldn't do it. So I admire all of you.
What was that that you came in and see? What were you doing?
I'm Bobby Kovner.
Bobby Kovner, of
right,
course.
yes.
My God, how can I forget that? That's amazing.
Well, I don't look the same. Maybe you do. You do.
Yeah.
Don't be sorry.
Thank you. Bobby is a painter.
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm here because I love birthday cake. Hi, Stan. Well, Bobby told you the time span. How old are you?
Me?
No.
Me. 24.
24. I was 25 when I met Stan, and my wife was 24. And we drove up from New York to audition for his theater company, his wife's theater company. The car literally blew up like in the movies, black smoke out of the front. And I'm kind of going, oh my God, I've seen this in the movies. What now? Bang, crash. And in Hartford, and we hitched with some trusting woman the rest of the way to audition for your theater company. And So I played Stan from the time I was 25 to the time I was 30. He would write things. Anything that happened in his life, he'd write down. And I'd do it. So when he got in his car accident, I was on stage on crutches. I was Stan when he broke up with his wife. Yeah, I know. Through all these stages. So I didn't come up to I didn't come up to learn how to act. I came up to act in his company. But I learned how to become, to behave, and Stan really helped me become a human being. There was a time there when I was just pissed. Well, I was pissed off all the time. But pissed off and frustrated and really feeling like they're either going to fire me or we were making $45 a week, which was a lot in those days. Or I'm going to quit, or it's just, I was vexed, and I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't think anybody knew I was vexed. And it turned out to be a feminist theater company, the very earliest feminist theater company. So being a guy, I was all for this, but I was also feeling like kind of abused, like, wait a second, I'm 25, I haven't had a chance to kind of oppress you. Give me 4 years to do it. So I was feeling really alone. And Stan somehow corralled me. I remember sitting in the front of the church, the Harvard Network Church, and just, I was saying, why is he talking to me? Saying, look, and just what a young man and a woman would need, which is a mentor at that time. Somebody who, for no reason at all, just takes you aside and tries to tell you and talk to you and listen to you and ask what's going on. And that had never happened to me in my life before, even though I was, thought I was a hippie. That kind of decency and human caring really didn't happen. And you said simple things, Stan. It was just like, what do you want here? What do you want? Get what you want out of this. It's not like do what I want to do, or do this, or be fired. It's just, what do you want? Just find what you want here. That's what we're here for. So, I thank you for that. You were my director, my mentor, and you're my friend. And you're always 16 years older than me. So now I'm turning 70. Amazing journey. So thank you.
Peter came to audition. We were in a church in Harvard Square. We had a space in the church to do our plays. And there was a beam, I don't know, a 6-inch by 8-inch beam, from one side of the balcony to the other side of the balcony, about a 50-foot span. And he got up on that beam. He was off the floor about 15, 20 feet off the floor, and he walked that beam.
I was 25.
Stupid.
Yeah. I'm glad you remember that. I don't remember that.
I can't believe it. And
I'm very impressed with myself.
That was the best audition I ever saw.
I think I was so scared, I just was frustrated, I think I wanted to jump off and kill myself.
That was great. Absolutely great. He was a wonderful person, wonderful actor. He is a wonderful actor and a wonderful person. And Bobby and he together, I felt very close to him. Very, very, very close.
I'll tell one more thing about this.
Yes.
About you. And I don't know, I missed, we were late, I'm sorry, but I missed your early life. But your wife told me, one of the ways she fell in love with you, I don't know if that was told, was that Stan and Bobby were early communists in the 50s when it was tough to be a communist. I was just a hippie in the 60s when it was easy to be a hippie. So she said that the feds came to your house. She was there. And they came to your house, these two guys dressed like men in black came knocking on the door trying to, rouse them. And Bobby, his wife, was terrified. She was a scientist at the time. Just absolutely terrified. You probably don't remember this. And Stan just kicked him out. Simply kicked them out. They couldn't believe it. Just get out of here. You can't do anything to me. I don't care what you do to me. And this American, get out of here. You're not welcome. Kicked the feds out of the house.
All right.
Where he went.
Probably taking classes.
That's very good.
My name is Tim, and I met Stan, I think it was 1999, so 15 years ago. So you were like 69 by then, yes, or 70. I'd been working in New York for a while, and I went back to grad school, and I got a degree in history of science, and I did my thesis on theater and science.
Wow.
And I was trying to show that theater was sort of a catalyst for creativity in ancient Greece and Elizabethan England, and it sort of spilled over into science and philosophy. And I sort of have a strong science background, but I had no theater background whatsoever. And so I looked at the CCAE catalog, and there was a Shakespeare course being taught. And so I took the course. And that's where I met Stan. Stan wasn't even teaching that course, if I remember correctly. There was somebody else who was teaching it, and then you were helping her or something. But then afterwards, you said, I want to teach Shakespeare. And so he asked me if I would help him teach, or I'd be a teaching assistant or something. So I worked with Stan for many years, actually, for several years. And then we stopped for a while, and then I helped him again for a couple of years, and then I haven't seen Stan in about 5 years now. But we went over every Shakespeare play.
We did almost every play.
We did almost every single play, and I learned so much, although it's sort of wearing off now, but I'm like, why did I learn all that? Now forget it all. But I think Stan has a really good, he has a sort of Socratic method, which is sort of a theater thing anyway, Socratic method. So it's a great way to for everyone in the class, including Stan, myself, and everyone to learn about it. So yeah, it was very, very, very formative time in my life when I was doing that. And so that's it. So I just came back to say happy birthday. It's good to see you again.